Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, excuse me, gentlemen, lizard people, robot men, variants thereupon, and individuals who would seek to stalk me from live stream to talk about my shit takes. I'm your host, Weebo Jones, and this is Cocktail Hour, and Polly is late once again. Although I don't think we actually agreed on the time. It was either 7 or 7:30. I mean, originally we agreed on 7 o'clock, and then we switched it to 7:30, and then we switched it back to 7 o'clock, and then we were flexible with it for a hot second. Like last week, we were flexible with it because Polly had other things that he had to do. So actually, I'm not sure what time we're supposed to start cocktail hour anymore at this point. I'm kind of like, it's up in the air. I'm still eating dinner, by the way. I got a little bit caught up in working on a costume for side quest in the new year, and so as a result, yeah. Your boy Pat Weebo, what happened yesterday? Are you referring to? What am I referring to? What are we referring to? What happened yesterday? Does this have to do with something on Twitter that I posted? Was it the I need to watch New Girls? Or New Girl? Was it that? What happened yesterday? Yesterday was the 20th. Oh, was it my plans canceling for the day? What happened yesterday? Was it the 19th? I don't know. Yesterday was the 20th. My plans canceled, so I ended up hanging out with Midnight Thorn and then with Polly for a couple hours, and then working on my, what do you call it? What happened yesterday? Are you talking about the day before? Because something actually did happen that day, unfortunately. I cut someone off in my life that no longer needed to be in my life, and I have all sorts of feels about it, and so to distract myself from the shenanigans of that day, I watched a whole bunch of New Girl and sewed all night long. So, I know. I'm sorry. I was not able to hop online because I think, what was I doing? There was something I was doing. At that juncture, at that point in the day, I don't know when it went live. You sent it to me at 8:03 a.m. I don't have a good reason for why I wasn't there when it went down live. I was hoping to just watch it later, honestly. I was not in a good way. So I met up with Thorn. We drank. I broke my diet. I had a half a bottle of wine. And then we vented to each other about our collective shenanigans. Yeah, I needed it. I needed a girls' night. I'll address this at the beginning of the show because Polly's not here, so I don't feel bad about distracting with trivial things that have nothing to do with anything. But Axel Clown, oh yeah, such a stalker. Just want to see you try and defend being wrong about Kyle. Axel, you hop onto side quest and you bring up the Kyle Rittenhouse shenanigans while I'm in the middle of being in character. And I tell you it's not the time nor the place. I'm happy to have this discussion with you at a later point in time, and I tell you as much. And then you go, no, I'm just going to continue to insult you. Actually, let's go look at your comments, because I feel like we need to actually grasp the gravity of what it is that you're accusing me of, because it is so redonkulous. So we're going to look at it. Since you want to be a jackass, let's go. Like, I have no trouble having a conversation with you, my dude. But you're coming at me with all the wrong attitude. So let's share. Let's have a heart to heart. Let's do this while we're waiting for Polly. So I don't know how much you guys can see. That doesn't make it better. We're just gonna do it like this. So Little Miss, ooh, I can zoom in, can't I? Yes, I can. I will do that. There we go. You guys can see better? All right, let's take me to task. So Little Miss BLM lover who hates all who supported Kyle and Kyle himself for what he did or how he chose to act that night. Do you ever think you could act in such a way? No, you would crumble like a cheap chair. Let's talk, friendo, since you want to discuss bad enough to follow me to streams that don't pertain. Why? So you can try and defend your absolute shit takes? I am far from your friendo. You are as shitty as MSM on this, in my opinion. I would have had more respect for you if you kept that trap shut over what happened that night. Bet you wanted him to be locked away so you felt justified in your shit take. Also to save face with your far, far left state members. Expecting a smart take from a woman on this, let alone one who lived in leftist shithole state. Grammar. I responded, let me get this straight, friendo. You come into the side quest chat, bring up my shit takes, this video, the one that I posted on last Monday. I tell you there's a time and place, you double down, then give you the opportunity to take me to task. You back down, and I am a crumbly chair. You have your shitty views. Nothing I would say would fix your shit view. No shitty thing you can say about the choices Kyle made that night will change my view that Kyle was a hero that night. We agree he will forever be changed. He will be forever changed and will need therapy, hopefully not from someone with views like yours. Weebo Jones, your grift to get male viewers of a more right-wing perspective is done. We have seen your real views. Let BLM burn your home and attack you if you are under 25 when your brain is fully developed. Don't you dare use an AR to put the scum down. Get some help, friendo. I implore you. She big time sad because her shit take was thrown at her and will be thrown at her for some time. And that is where we are now. I believe it was earlier in the chat when you said countdown to her defending her shit take on Kyle. Her take on Kyle's been there that night. Being there that night is 100% proof of why women do not belong in politics. They have shitty opinions based on their emotions. Doubt all you want is damn true. She claims he should not have been there yet, said nothing about the violent rioters being there not being okay. Thus, she might think they had the right to burn things and attack Kyle. And that is where we are right now. Okay, so I would like to just address this. At no point did I ever need to actually address the BLM rioters in my videos because, believe it or not, the video was not about them, and it was not about the riot side of things. I think everyone can actually reasonably assume, and I think I've actually pointed it out a number of times in different avenues, my opinion and perspective on the BLM rioters, and that is not okay. If you were paying attention, sir. But the video was about Kyle Rittenhouse and the right frothing at the mouth at the idea of a 17-year-old doing their job for them. That was my whole beef. That was my whole hang-up. And if I called you out and you feel offended because I called you out for being a fucking coward and not doing what a 17-year-old had more balls to do than you, then you know what? You deserve it. Okay? If you feel offended by the fact that I am calling you out for not taking to task those same rioters in place of a 17-year-old, then get fucked, idiot. Okay, and that's all I'll say on that. I do love how he thinks you're the emotional one, Dale Haste. I agree. I'm the emotional one because I want to prevent a 17-year-old kid from having the emotionally scarring experience of taking lives at such a young age. I am the emotional one because I want to spare him that. Excuse me for having a little bit of compassion. Personally, I think that that is what is lacking from our political sphere, is the compassion for the alternative side and their perspective on things. The nuance that you are able to grasp at perceiving what the other side is getting at, that is what is lacking. That is why we are where we are today. Because people can't get out of their own fucking heads and put themselves in their neighbor's shoes and allow themselves the grace of fathoming what the other perspective could be. That's why we are where we are. That's why riots are happening in the streets. That's why cops are getting lynched, essentially, in the media. That's why Kyle Rittenhouse is getting lynched in the media. Because people can't or won't take the time to think just a little bit. Just a little bit. But what do I know? I'm just a woman. I don't. Not like I've ever had anything to do with conflict resolution in my entire life. It's not like I ever got commended by the FBI for hostage negotiation tactics that I used. It's not like I have an entire degree in psychology that backs up my perspective in this matter. It's not like I haven't spent hours and hours and hours deep in the books looking into the ramifications of taking a life on a person's mental state. It's not like I've done any of that. It's not like I didn't actually go into research and look into history of state killings in my original video and make that point. It's not like that at all. I'm a woman. I can't possibly think rationally. I have a uterus, so that overrides all things. Only in very select circumstances, my dudes. Anyway. Excuse me. While I enjoy the only thing that I should be doing with my life, cooking. By the way, saute your vegetables before you put them in your soup or your sauce, because it softens them before you put them in the sauce, and then let the sauce simmer. You don't want to let it simmer too long, but if you don't saute them before you put them in, and you saute them and you simmer it too long, everything gets soggy and mushy, and that's not a good sauce. Just a pro tip. Now, I will say this is a little bit of a watery sauce. I could have done with a little bit more tomato paste to make up for the moisture content in here, but it is what it is. Now, I get wanting to hail Kyle Rittenhouse as a hero, the urge to do so, and I can sympathize with that, because the left certainly isn't going to do it. And obviously they are doing the complete antithesis of hailing Kyle Rittenhouse as a hero, in that they are decrying him as a white supremacist murderer. I mean, I did make that point in my video, after all. There was a whole section where I attacked the left for their shit takes on Kyle Rittenhouse. Axel, if you were listening, which I doubt very much that you were. I get that to counteract that, one would have to, or feel the need to, call Kyle Rittenhouse a hero. I get that. I get that impulse to do that. I also get the impulse to call him a hero to encourage the behavior of protecting one's community. I get that too. And I also understand trying to make this kid a symbol that you can get behind, that you can rally behind, like a war cry. I get that urge, but I don't think it's wise to start the precedent of making that symbol 17-year-olds. Because I've never been comfortable with the idea of making kids grow up faster than they need to. And a large part of my reaction to that aspect of politics, the reason why I am so gung-ho against pushing kids into roles they're not ready for, is because I was that kid. Not that I've ever murdered anybody, not that I've ever had to, like, be a hero for my community, but I remember being the kid that had to take on too much responsibility at too young of an age in place of adults that should have been there to do what I was pushed into doing. And that sticks with you. And it breeds a lot of resentment, and it makes you a very angry person. And I am a very angry person sometimes, and I don't like that I am that person. I resent that. I resent the people that put me in that position. And if I had it any other way, I would not have done the same thing to myself that other people did. Yes, it made me a more responsible person. Yes, it pushed me into an adult role, and I am now more stable as an adult than most adults my age. But it cost me what it cost me. I never had a choice in giving up what it cost me. I never get that back. I will never have those years of my youth back to enjoy. I was cheated out of that. And now Kyle Rittenhouse is getting cheated out of his youth. And that is tragic. And we should not be encouraging it. And I know people are going to be like, Weebo, you're trying to hold kids back beyond the point that they should be held back. And maybe that might be the case. But the alternative, at least in this case, the alternative is gruesome and sad and tragic and horrible. Okay, I'm not saying that in all cases we should baby people. We should preserve the innocence beyond a reasonable point in their lives. But what I am saying is, don't martyr fucking 17-year-olds, for God's sakes. That shouldn't be a hot take, but it is. It is. Somehow it is. Another point that I want to make, and this is probably going to get me in a lot more trouble too, is remember, I made it at the end of my video, but I don't think I emphasized enough this point. This point of, let me bring up the graphic that I would like to bring up. I have it prepared and saved to my hard drive because of course you do. And that's the same face Kyle Rittenhouse will make during his first time in the prison shower. Now, this post was made with a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse crying on the stand. This was made before the not guilty verdict came out. And I would just like to say, it's ironic that there are people out there that think that Kyle is old enough to go off and die in a war for a bunch of elderly men who can't make peaceable decisions to save anyone's life. He's old enough to do that, but he's not old enough to have these kind of jokes made about him. That's hilarious to me. In a very tragic way, it is hilarious. That is the amount of principle that you have. If you were pissed at this, but you're not pissed that kids the same age go off to die. Old enough to die, but not old enough to get prison fucked. Weird standards, people. It's my black pilldest moment right there. Send him off to die. But, oh, no, God forbid, we make jokes about him getting raped in prison. I'm not saying that I approve of the rape jokes, because I don't. But I also don't approve of the sending 17-year-olds off to die, is the point that I'm making. It's a shit take that Tara made. No one's arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that. I've never argued with that. I think that it's a shit take. But it's also a shit take to send 17-year-olds off to die. Or to be okay with that. I'm sorry. That's where I'm at right now. I'm bitter. I hate everyone. And I'm very much black-pilled on my audience right now. Not all of them, obviously. Some of them. And that's fine. I can take it. It's cool. I'm a dirty, filthy centrist. I knew that this was going to happen. If I had an alternative take to the right collective that I have been accumulating on the channel, that's fine. Your boy Pat. Yet if jokes like that are made towards the side Tara likes, she's offended then. I agree. There is no principles on either side, the left or the right. Both of them are fucking ninnies. And I will die on that hill. And I'm not saying everybody. No, obviously not. But come on, people. Come on. We're kidding ourselves if we think that there are not a fucking bunch of hypocrites on either side. You love to point it out on the right. Or you love to point it out on the left. But you don't like it when it's pointed out on your side. Dirty, filthy centrist gets the wall. Axel, you can disagree with me all you want. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Okay? That's fine. What I have a problem with is the fact that apparently my opinion doesn't count for shit because I have a uterus in this matter. What I have a problem with is you telling me that I'm just as bad as the MSM. That was the MSM that I just showed you. I don't have a shit take like that. What I have a problem is with you ascribing perspectives to me that I did not tout. All right, sir, you can check yourself on those before you start going off half-cocked about what someone thinks. Check it. Maybe have a discussion with them before you fucking blow your cap at them because you disagree with one point that they ever make. The world would be a lot shinier and a lot brighter if maybe people weren't so, I don't know, trigger happy with their emotions. I'm the emotional one. Because I have a uterus. When you are the one going off half-cocked over an opinion you disagree with. I agree with you there, subpar genitalia. Sorry, my non-existent dyslexia is just rattling my brain. My take is the same as Monkey. He did nothing wrong, still shouldn't have been here. He's definitely not a hero. The only reason he shouldn't have been there is because he was 17, all right? He can be there physically. He has that right as an American, but if I was his mother, if I was his father, I would be telling him to stay the fuck home and locking him in his room to prevent him from going out. Okay, maybe not locking him, but I'd ground the ever-loving shit out of him for leaving in the middle of a riot to go do anything with the riot. Because I don't want my kid near that. Fuck no. My kid should be... Gesundheit. My kid should be staying at home, studying, keeping safe, preparing themselves for a successful career in whatever field it is that they choose to be in. That's where I'm at. And personally, I think that should go for every under 18-year-old. And yes, okay, I get it. Maturity levels vary depending on the kid. But we have a line. We have a line for legal adulthood in this country, and that is 18. And I think that since we have that demarcation, we should abide by it on all things. Okay? On all things that are supposedly adulty. Okay, yes. People have their brains completely developed by 25. Maybe it's flexible per the individual, but we have a demarcation. It's 18. Let's abide by it. Let's honor it. Okay? When you're 18, kid, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But you're still my kid until then. You live under my roof. I'm sorry. Old man yells at cloud syndrome right now. Go to your room. I'm going to be a great mom. I know it. Great mom. No internet for you. Not until you're 18. That is my most, how do I say, authoritarian perspective, or opinion that I hold, is that children under the age of 18 shouldn't be allowed on the internet. I'm only mostly joking. Oh, boyfriend won't let me do that with our kids. Right, babe? He's not paying attention to me. Right, babe? Still not paying attention. Axel Klum, ground him for wanting to protect his community. No, not for wanting to protect to protect his community. I would ground him for leaving the house when I told him not to. Because he's 17, he doesn't need to be out there putting himself in the middle of danger. Okay? If I was his parent, I would ground him for putting himself out there in the middle of danger against my explicit instruction as his parent. I would have that right because I am the parent, and I don't want my kid going off putting themselves in danger for a plethora of reasons, chief among them the fact that I don't want what just happened with Kyle to happen with my kid. I think any decent parent would be of that mind. I think that's safe to say. Parents in the chat, would you let your child go to and partake in a riot? Raise your hand if that is the case. Joys of Sorrow, Weebo, the obvious PTSD from the event is grounding enough. Well, obviously, I mean, like, I'm not saying that. The PTSD is definitely punishment enough. I was saying that more as a, if my kid went out there, put themselves in danger, came home, nothing happened, I'd still ground them, regardless, because they put themselves in a situation that I did not approve of for them, at their age. It is an inappropriate place for a 17-year-old to be. It is an inappropriate setting for a 17-year-old to be. Yeah, you're right. A boyfriend will be the cool parent. Probably. He's like, yeah, at 3 years old, I'll let them hold the guns. And I'm like, unloaded? Yeah, no, we're not sending my kid to a riot when he's 17. He's 18. He can make his own damn decisions, but as long as he's living under my roof, that is not happening. And if he does what I told him not to, we're going to have a problem. No cell phone for a week. You're grounded, son. You can't leave the house. Taking your car keys away. Unless you bought it yourself, in which case, then I'm going to punish you somehow else. That's literally what parenting is. Setting up boundaries for your kid that they don't cross. Appropriate boundaries for their age demographic. That's literally what parenting is. Axel, it was the wrong setting for all those riders and defenders. Defenders cops should have acted. Fucking duh! But I'm not talking about them. This hasn't been a discussion about them. This has been a discussion about Kyle. Okay? I'm not their parent in this scenario. We can talk about them all the live long day, but you fucking brought up my shit take on the situation. My shit take, quote unquote, what you said about my take. My shit take has to do with Kyle. And now is inappropriate for a 17-year-old to be in a place that he's not supposed to be. We're not talking about the rioters. We never were. That wasn't the topic. The world from Ferg. I wouldn't let them go out, but I would explicitly encourage government overflow. But I would explicitly encourage gov overflow at 18. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Yes. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Mr. Adam, the other half of that mindset, Weebs, is the offspring's free will and making choices, bad or not. I agree, okay? When I have children and I have raised them to that point, I hope that I've raised them with enough wisdom to make the good decisions that I hope that they make, to not put themselves in positions where their lives can be ruined for the rest of them, because that's a lot of years that you're investing into something that you love, something that you cherish, something that you want to grow up to be successful and happy and unencumbered by the realities of situations like this. This is your baby. This is your child. This is someone that you have taken care of, wiped the ass of, and burped when they were an infant, and in half cases carried for 9 months, and they are your child. So yes, it is hopefully your imperative to make sure that they are protected. And in this case, if you need to tell your child not to go engage in dangerous activity at that age, I would say any logical parent would make that call. Greetings, Michael Hatfield. We're having a lovely debate. I'm actually enjoying myself. Where is Scribelight? Good question. I think he's elsewhere right now. Oh, before I get too deep into the monotony of my argumentations, thank you the next 6 minutes for the donation from 3 hours ago. Just picked up some new audio equipment with Hammer's help. Weebo Jones be all up in here with that Yeti that seemed designed to make her sound awesome. Six had to up his game, so I upgraded. Gotta keep up with my peeps. Anyhow, sub to Weebo. I agree. The Blue Yeti is a good time. We love the Yetis. And we love the Yetis in the cup version, too. This is not a Yeti, but I have my Yeti over there. That's what I drink out of on the norm. Mr. Adam, you can only guide them as best you can. I agree. You can only guide them as best you can. Once they turn 18, they are free to make all of the decisions that they want. But if your parent has told you explicitly not to go and enter into a dangerous situation at the age of 17, then yes, your parent is entitled to ground you for putting yourself in that situation. But at 18, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, what is your parent going to do to stop you? Honestly. I know I'm not making the greatest of headway in convincing people otherwise of things that they're not going to be convinced of, but I do like to talk these things out with people. Maybe I see some perspective that I didn't quite grasp initially, and it widens my perspective. Some. Maybe I don't agree with you, maybe you don't agree with me, but I do like to have these conversations with people about topics that we disagree on, because that's what the whole point of this channel is to have these conversations, to enlighten myself and enlighten you with my perspective, to enlighten myself with your perspective, and enlighten you with mine. Polly!
Hello. How are you?
Good. We're just talking about my controversial opinion.
On.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh.
We can continue if you want to, or if you are Kyle Rittenhouse out, we can not.
Not really. I mean, what is how off could your take possibly be that it would be controversial?
I don't know. Axel Clown, how off is my perspective? Shall we read your comments again? Apparently, did you watch the video?
No.
No.
I'm sorry, I haven't. I'm going to, but I haven't as of yet.
Polly.
No.
I thought we were friends. So the comment that I got that set me off from Axel Clown, who's in the chat right now, was, so Lil Miss BLM lover who hates all who supported Kyle and Kyle himself for what he did or how he chose to act that night. Do you ever think that you could act in such a way? No, you would crumble like a cheap chair, and various other things like that. But the thing that really set me off, though, is the testaments to perspectives and allegiances that I never made, have never made, will never make. Just because I happen to disagree with them on a perspective. Well, you got rid of your pilgrim.
Well, I'm blanket otter today.
Okay.
It's cold.
Axel Cloud says, I was a jackass for coming at you the way that I did, but I felt like you were pilling on him by saying how dare he be there. It's not how dare he be there. I wasn't really directing my ire at Kyle. I don't think I actually directed any ire at Kyle. It was mostly just with the right. My ire was directed at the right, and at the end of that video, it was directed at the left because of the way that they were attacking Kyle as well. Dude, I am Team Kyle all the way, all right? I have been Team Kyle. I cried when they read out the jury verdict. Like, I teared up a little bit as Kyle was collapsing there on a knee and getting held up by that aide.
Mm-hmm.
It was an emotional verdict reading.
Mm-hmm.
It hit me. I didn't realize that I cared that much about the verdict until it hit me that like hot fudge. But I took issue with how both sides were addressing the topic. Like, this is a 17-year-old kid whose life is just basically ended. As he knew it, nothing would be the same. And the right was martyring him as a hero, and the left was taking that and running with it in the way that they did. Like, doesn't that again?
Whoa.
Oh, so you are listening to me.
What?
So you can hear me.
I heard you then. Why? What'd you say?
Oh, I just said that you wouldn't let me baby our children.
No, of course not.
Exactly. But yeah, no, my whole hang up was with the way that people were treating Kyle, not Kyle himself. Yes, he should not have been there. Personally, I would not let my son do that if he were my kid. I did not just spend the last 17 years of my life raising my kid for him to go off and potentially die in a riot. Okay? That's not what we're gonna do. But I understand where he's coming from. I would have done the same if it was my community. Because it's my community. And I would have reacted the same, hopefully reacted in somewhat of a similar manner if I was getting chased for helping my community like that. Like, that's not what I took issue with. It's a very nuanced position. Anyway, Polly, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well.
Yeah. I'm doing well as well. I made loaded sauce last night. So it's got mushrooms and peeled tomatoes and onions and peppers.
Is that fusilli?
Fusilli?
Corkscrew pasta?
It is rotini.
Oh, it's rotini.
Mm-hmm. It is chickpea rotini though, because it's higher in protein than normal rotini.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get the alternative pastas because they're higher in protein, and I'm supposed to be upping my protein content according to my nutritionist. I'm not getting enough of it, so I have like protein powder. And I put it in my tea because otherwise it'll taste like chalk.
You should look up fusilli and rotini and find the difference.
Fusilli and rotini. Fusilli. Did I spell it right?
Fuci. Excuse me, fusilli.
Okay. All right. Holly, I don't know if I can tell the difference between these two pastas.
That's what I'm saying.
This is rotini. Okay, you see it? This is rotini.
Mm-hmm.
This is fusilli.
Mm-hmm.
Rotini? Fusilli.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be size, right? Like spaghettini and spaghetti.
I think, like, maybe it's just got, like, 3 more spirals than fusilli?
No, I mean, like, width.
Maybe? I don't know. Maybe? I mean, maybe? Chat, help me out here. I'm having a struggle. Now I'm hungry again. I'm having a bit of a struggle. That's neither of those noodles. Do you know how many noodles there are? There are a grand number of noodles. Like a high amount of nuts. One is flat twisted noodles. Other is a round twisted. Flat twisted.
Flat twisted. The other one is round twisted.
So like this is flat twisted, and this is round twisted. Okay, I kind of see it. There's like a little bit of a curve. I can kind of see it. It's very subtle.
If I had to pick, it'd be fettuccine.
You too?
It is my favorite, like, long noodle pasta.
Oh, long noodle, like, just in general?
Yeah. Like, yeah. You know, long noodle as opposed to, like, short little guys like you were doing. Short little guys, it's all about the penne for me. I love me some penne.
Is that because you can put it on the fork tongs? When you use that fork penne?
Plenty of reasons. You can make great ziti with it. You can make great baked ziti with it. You can do it holds the sauce, as people say, and that's very, very true.
Yes.
It's more difficult to fuck up your level of al dente, and 45 seconds in the water is all it takes to fuck that up.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I like the shells.
Shells are nice.
Shells hold sauce.
And then, of course, gnocchi. I'm a fan of the gnocchi.
I have some in the fridge. It's potato gnocchi.
Yeah, potato. Doesn't it have to be potato to be gnocchi?
No, I'm pretty sure you can make gnocchi without the potatoes itself. I'm pretty sure. Let me just see. No. Is all gnocchi potato?
Old man Enfield says angel hair always seems to please you. I hear you. But like, if you look away from that pot of boiling water for like 2.5 seconds, boom, al dente, fucked. It's because it's so thin. You got to know what you're doing, and I don't know what I'm doing.
I need to go to a different search engine for this answer. DuckDuckGo. Okay, so I like DuckDuckGo, but it doesn't always give me what I want in terms of results.
Well, at least they're not tracking everything you're looking for in like Google.
Okay, all right. How to make gnocchi. What is gnocchi? What is potato gnocchi? So gnocchi are Italian pasta, the most common of which is the classic potato gnocchi. They are made of cooked mashed potatoes, flour, and eggs. Some gnocchi recipes add ricotta to the dough. Gnocchi is the plural for gnocco, which you rarely hear because who can eat just one? Okay, so what I'm gathering from this is that it's not common, but you can have non-potato gnocchi.
Gotcha. Well, I just found out tonight that you can make not fusilli. What were you eating?
Rotini.
Rotini with what was it? Yams?
I don't know. Can you make it with yams?
No. What'd you make it?
You're asking me what my rotini is. It's made out of chickpeas.
Chickpeas. That's it. I didn't even know you could make rotini out of chickpeas.
Yeah. So I have rotini for chickpeas, or rotini made out of chickpeas, but I also have I think it's rotini made out of lentils as well.
Ooh.
So I haven't tried that one yet, but it looks red and it looks interesting. So someday I will try it. Gnocchi is a dumpling, not a pasta, says Oki Native. No, I don't know. Is it? No.
Welcome to Pasta Talk.
Is it a dumpling? Because like dumplings, you have to stuff things inside a breaded enclosure. That's what constitutes a dumpling, right? Whereas a gnocchi is basically just mashed potato dough.
Yeah, but by that definition, what do they call little square pockets of
ravioli?
Ravioli would be dumplings by that
exactly,
definition.
They're Italian dumplings.
Oh, okay.
That's what a dumpling is. A dumpling is literally just something stuffed into something else that's a bready enclosure.
That's something I'd like to get good at.
Making dumplings? Oh, dude, it's so fucking hard.
Well,
I've made pork
dumplings,
dumplings.
yeah, particularly ravioli, but that's 3 or 4 steps above my skill level in the kitchen. I mean, I know how to work the toaster and open the fridge and such.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure potato dumplings are completely different. I believe they're called pierogis. That's a Polish word. Right?
Polish.
Am I spelling it right? Pierogis are... Yeah, they're Polish dumplings, and I'm pretty sure they're stuffed full of potato.
Now, generally.
Yep.
When people
you can make a sauerkraut filled one.
Do you like sauerkraut?
I do. I'm
one
of those weirdos.
Do you like it on hot dogs?
Actually, I'm more of an Italian, I'm more of a Chicago style hot dog type of person, but I will have it on Polish sausage.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, pierogis are Polish dumplings. They are typically filled with potatoes. So, I know I'm gonna save this recipe for when Nana comes over, Grandma Jones. It's gonna be a good time. Because every once in a while we have Nana come over, and the last time she came over, I made oxtail soup, Polly.
How'd that go?
Oh, it was very good. You ever had oxtail?
I have, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number of times actually.
Homemade oxtail soup. I had to go maybe 20 or 30 minutes away to a butcher shop in a different city to get the oxtail. Like I had to order it ahead of time. It cost me a fucking pretty penny. It's $50 for an oxtail. And this was a couple months ago. So Yeah. Oh, but the oxtail, it really tastes very good, but you have to boil the fuck out of it to get it to fall off the bone.
Oh, okay.
Like you cannot do anything until you can't really eat it directly off the bone because it's really hard to eat off the bone. So you just have to wait for it to fall off, and you have to apply enough heat for the tendons and all of the other attachables to disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you do that. But it was very good. I made my grandmother's recipe. So it's an old recipe that she brought back from Poland. She came over. Muy delicious. Very, very good. But yeah, next time she comes over, I think I'm going to make a traditional Polish dinner for her. Because I think she'd really appreciate that. So I'm talking stuffed cabbage rolls with, yes. And Polish sausage with sauerkraut and potato pierogies. So she would absolutely love that. Oh, and I believe, if memory serves, stuffed cabbage rolls are referred to as Gnocchi in Polish. From the old country.
I'd like to get good at making shank steaks. Good.
Shank steaks. Now, what's that?
Well, luckily there's a little map here. That's the shank.
That's the shank. So, like the thighs?
Yeah, like the top of the leg above the knee. You see the bone?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and the bones, like I'm told, is the flavor. And if you're making ossobuco, there's a number of Italian American dishes that I'd love to. Well, Italian, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that I'd like to get good at making. And apparently, when you pan sear these motherfuckers, and then you deglaze them with a little red wine, and then you stew up, and then you get the marinara on there and everything. That it's just, I've had good ossobuco, and I'd like to get good at making it. And everybody forgets about the beef shanks. Because, I mean, look at them motherfuckers, man. They're all marbled. You get the bone in there, and that's where the flavor's at, I'm told.
Yes, actually, the bone is always where the marrow is. You know what you do with the bone marrow, or the bones? Like, you keep them in the thing, and then, well, at least with the oxtails, is hopefully the cartilage cap that connects each bone to itself, or to a different bone, or it prevents that bone from rubbing up against the other bone next to it. The cartilage caps pop off, and once you have the exposed connective area of the bone, you actually can just suck out the marrow from that. It's delicious. There's not a whole lot of it, but it's so good. That's where all of the marrow is concentrated.
Ooh, beef stank stew. Yeah, I made that sound good. Beef shank stew. That looks really good.
Beef skank stew.
Yeah, don't eat anything called beef stank.
No.
I mean, it might be
never.
good, but the odds don't favor it, is what I'm saying.
I wonder how much it would cost me to get beef shanks.
Your butcher. Talk to your butcher. Make sure you know your butcher by his first name or her first name. Be like, hey, Steve, I'm looking for some beef shanks.
No, he's got a more ethnic sounding name than that. Butchers do. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. It's unavailable at my local grocery store. What the fuck? Like, it's on here, but it's in-store only.
Yeah, you got to go in there and ask. You can't just, like, curbside that shit.
But can't I, like, just request a price? Or can I just look at the price? Oh, if I have to actually call the butcher at my local grocery store, I'm gonna be sad.
Are you kidding me?
Too much effort.
Cute blonde girl comes in and says, I want to know your first name. He's going to tell you. He's going to be, my name is Enzo. I am the butcher.
There we go. I like that name better than Steve. Steve the butcher. No, he just sounds like a serial killer at that point. Enzo the butcher. The butcher of Chicago. What do you want from me? I would like to have your kneecaps for lunch. Is that a threat, Anzo? No. I would like you to cook me some kneecaps.
So having a Polish family, as you do,
Indeed.
I'm assuming Thanksgiving isn't like, because there's no Thanksgiving in Poland. Like, I mean, I'm sure there are thankful people and all, considering the millennia of hardship they've endured. Are
you referring to that time that we got triple teamed by the the Eastern European states?
Well, I mean, that was just the most recent encounter. I mean, it's like I said millennia and I fucking meant it.
Indeed. We've been fucked one too many times.
Is there anything that's okay? So on to Christmas. What's the Polish Christmas all about? What's going down there?
Oh, okay. So I should inform you that yes, we are from Poland, but in terms of how Polish we are, I'm pretty sure my grandmother's parents left all that shit behind when they migrated over here, because beyond the cooking of like certain dishes for very special occasions, and I'm not even talking Christmas or Thanksgiving, my grandma is only Polish in that she mentions it quite a lot, but it's not like our heritage is a big thing in the family.
Okay, well, that's fine enough, because I was just getting at what you usually expect and have for Christmas. That's
oh, you're just asking me.
Yeah, that's where all this was headed.
Okay, so we're having turkey for Thanksgiving, and then a big freaking $300 fillet for Christmas.
Fillet of what?
Yeah, filet mignon.
Like,
a big log of fillet, like a whole fillet.
You're getting the whole loin and filleting it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
It's what my family has been doing for many years now.
Cool, cool. And the sides are what? What do you got?
So for Thanksgiving we have a green bean casserole. I have been asked to make the sweet potato casserole. We got mashed potatoes, we got the gravy, obviously. I believe cranberries, and then turkey. So it's pretty classic. And then I think for dessert, some sort of
turkey pie. And the fillets.
Oh no! I'm just talking about Thanksgiving. But
okay.
For Christmas, it'll be the fillet, and then probably mashed potatoes, sautéed mushroom and onions, a salad of some sort. What else did we have last year? There was one other thing. Some other vegetable, like a green vegetable. I don't want to say it was green beans, but I feel like it was green beans. And then for dessert, we make a fuck ton of cookies, Polly. Like, I'm talking a metric fuck ton of cookies. And not just one cookie. It is 8 to 9 different types of cookies. I'm talking molasses cookies, little sugar wreaths with...
I love molasses cookies.
Fake ass cherries in the middle, almond cookies, crescent cookies, which are El Boyfriendo's favorite cookie.
What are those? I don't know the crescent cookie.
Ooh, crescent cookies. Crescent cookies. Let me show you what a crescent cookie is. A croissant cookie. They are these bad boys right here. Right here. Right here.
Oh. I don't think I've ever had one of them.
Oh, well, you're missing out. What else? Chocolate chip cookies. I think maybe oatmeal raisins some years. It's been a minute, though. A lot of cookies. A lot of fucking cookies. So many cookies. And not all of them get eaten. Somehow. Like, you would think that all of them would be gone by the end of the year, but no.
You're not fruitcake people?
Never in my life have I ever touched a fruitcake. I've never actually I don't even think I've ever actually seen a fruitcake in real life, Polly. Have you?
Sure.
Oh, peanut butter cookies. That's another one.
Oh, those are good too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, peanut butter with Hershey Kisses in the middle. That's the other one that I couldn't think of for the life of me. Yeah, I've never had a fruitcake before. Wait, have you eaten the fruitcake? Not just seen it?
Yeah. I'm not a particularly huge fan. My dad adores it.
Is it like decent? Is it fruity? Well, obviously it's fruity, but I mean, like, is it? What is a fruitcake? I'm gonna look this up. We're gonna have a crash course.
Six says he makes a pazul every year, which is I had to look that up, a traditional super stew from Mexican cuisine. It is made from hominy with meat and can be seasoned or garnished with shredded lettuce or cabbage, chili peppers, onion, garlic, radishes, avocado, salsa, or limes. Huh. Cool.
Is this just like raisin bread? Is that what I'm looking at here?
Yeah, it's just it's a real dense bread full of fruits and nuts traditionally that's been soaked in liquor or liqueur.
Oh, so it's like alcoholic.
Now there's some fruitcake. See that shiny one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they last forever in a fucking day. Because they're from pre-refrigeration times. That's why you like soak them in booze. And then plus it adds a whole bunch of flavor, but also
I want to look at one of these recipes. Best holiday fruitcake, Christmas fruitcake, regal fruitcake. All right, what do you want? Which one? Which one of these? The best holiday fruitcake, the Christmas fruitcake, or the regal fruitcake?
There's a regal one.
Okay, so that's the one we're doing.
Well,
You sounded more intrigued.
I'm just like wondering what makes it regal.
I don't know. We're gonna find out. 14 ingredients. It takes 4 hours to make. It requires pineapple, cherries, raisins. What's a fucking currant? Currant? What is that? I've never heard of that.
A black currant? You never heard of it? It's a fruit.
No, I've never heard of it. And I literally found sun golden kiwis this weekend. Side tangent, they are fucking delicious. They taste like pears.
It's a fruit, but probably not. You know how those things are. You think something's a fruit, it turns out to be a berry, and then you're like, okay, it's a berry, and then it turns out to be a legume. You know how it is.
Oh. Interesting. Yeah, I've never had this before. Where do you even get those?
Currants?
Yeah.
Currants?
Yeah.
The produce section.
I've never seen them before in the produce section.
Well, you can't just go to a bodega. You gotta.
I have to go to like what? I can't just go to my local Walmart and be like, I'm gonna pick up some currants.
6 says it's like a cross between a blackberry and a blueberry in flavor. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Well, now I'm curious. I need to try a currant. I have papaya in the fridge, but I'm thinking it's not going to be lasting very long. I like to try new fruits. They're very good. Apparently they're yummy. Chopped pecans, white grape juice, butter, light brown sugar, 5 eggs, flour, baking soda, ground cinnamon, mace, and almond extract. You know, I have almond extract in my pantry right now. And I don't know what to use it for. This is what the currant looks like, by the way, guys.
Ooh. I've never seen them like fresh. Like I've always seen like dried, like raisins and shit. So that's crazy.
You think they taste better not dried?
I have no idea. I've only ever seen black currants. I've never seen red ones. Those are just like grapes.
And then there are green ones, but I think those are the unripened ones.
Black-eyed currants.
Are you sure that okay, so you've only seen the black currants, but are you sure you just didn't mistaken them for black, even though they were dried?
Well, the deep purple.
Yeah, when things lose their juice, they lose some of their color. Excuse me. Valentine woke me up a little too early this morning. He's like, Mom, 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 it's time to eat. It's time to eat. Give me food. Give me food. Smash your glasses off the nightstand. Anyway, anywho. So what are you going to do for Thanksgiving and Christmas, food-wise, Polly? I'm actually intrigued because I know you're going to do something different from the norm. Like at some point, I'm pretty sure you've eaten goose for Thanksgiving or something.
Never have.
Goose
I've
for
had
Christmas.
goose, but I've never had this Christmas goose that I keep talking about because I want it, and it's hard to hunt down a goose.
Not really though. You just have to like grab your shotgun and.
Oh, you mean literally hunt down a goose?
Yeah, hunt down a goose. I believe in you. I think you can hunt down a goose pretty accurately.
Yeah, but there's laws against that. You can't just like see a goose and start blasting off your porch, unfortunately.
You can if it's with a bow and arrow, technically.
Is that true?
No. I actually don't know in your state what the rules are, but I know that you couldn't just take your bow and arrow and shoot a goose out of the sky. Because technically...
That's like uber lawn darts and you're going to like hit a kid in the head.
Yeah, you might hit somebody. That's the concern is you can't just shoot things willy-nilly in your front yard. It's got to be out of sight with enough distance that you're not in danger of hitting anybody. There are regulations. But how are they going to know exactly, you know?
I was watching
like
somebody bow
they
hunt.
can hear anything.
Well, yeah, they hear thwang and then wah, and then a thump when it hits the ground.
Yeah.
See, that's when you need a dog, because otherwise, how the fuck are you going to find it?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to land on someone's roof, end up in their rain gutter.
Polly, I'm looking at all recipes, and I have some goose recipes here. Now, which Christmas goose are we having? Is it Chef Jones roast Christmas goose, roast wild goose or duck, smoked citrus goose breast, slow cooked goose, roast goose with...
Chef Jones looks like he knows what he's doing. That looks pretty golden and delicious.
Yeah.
Chef John, rather. Excuse me.
He is. So a whole smoked goose. Oh, it has to be pre-smoked. Do you have a smoker?
No, but I have a friend who's a barbecue fanatic, and he's got a smoker. He's got 2 different kinds of chimneys and a supply of different wood that you wouldn't believe.
Oh, you can pick up your local goose or some goose at your local grocery store. It seems it's probably super expensive though.
Probably. It's like them goddamn fresh turkeys. Don't be fooled.
Oh my gosh, have you seen the price of turkey?
Yeah, I have actually.
It's abysmal.
Yeah, it's okay though. You know, Joe Biden's is cheap. Is that thing like not just pre-smoked, but like cooked?
Well, what do you think smoked is?
I never claimed to be a smart man.
It's a way of cooking meat.
Ooh,
so yes, I think it is
red wining the wings. Cool.
Indeed. We're just gonna.
Is this all gravy for gravy?
I think this is what he's doing for gravy.
Holy shit!
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Can you imagine the aromas coming off of that? Smoked goose and red wine and whatnot.
Ooh, yeah. Polly, we should have a cooking show.
Right?
Right. I feel like that would be the most successful show.
It's not really cocktail hour. It's like drink cocktails with food hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It would be brunch, but not brunch. Ooh. Yes. Okay, what did he just put in there?
Yeah, what did he just dump in there?
Balsamic vinaigrette or vinegar,
Oh,
and
good
then
man.
black cherry
Balsamic vinegar
jam.
is awesome.
Or no, I'm sorry, blackberry jam.
Oh shit.
Reduced by
Reduced by
75%.
75%. That's gonna take a minute.
So reduced to a simmer.
Yeah, but 75% reduction? That's gonna take some time.
Well, because so the idea behind cooking is low and slow wins the race, right? Low and slow will get you where you need to go without rushing there. Because if you turn it all the way up immediately, you run the risk of burning shit. But if you low and slow it, you don't do that. But it's I feel like it also brings out the flavor profile of what it is you're cooking more effectively.
Was he tossing butter in there?
He is.
Good man.
Mm-hmm. Gotta include those healthy fats. Seriously though, who would watch the Polydub and Weebo Jones cooking hour special?
Weebo talks about cooking. Polly's like, I don't know what's going on.
So he also did put that in the oven as well, just to kind of heat it up. Now he's basting it with its
Oh
fat.
yeah, baste that turkey, buddy, or goose. Rub the goose.
Rub the goose with its own fat. And then,
Oh, look at it. It's shiny with deliciousness.
well, yes, because it's been basted with its own fat. Okay, you want to watch another one? Because I kind of want to watch another one. Roast goose with stuffing. Hey, Polly.
Yeah, I want to know what you stuffed it with.
Have
Have you
French
made stuffing
bread.
before for a turkey?
Have I made stuffing? Not like from scratch. I made out of the box stuffing. So I have to brag a little bit.
All right.
When I was, I think either a freshman or a sophomore. The robot has taken over. No, when I was either a freshman or a sophomore in high school, my dad, my brother, it was just my dad, my brother, and me. And I want to say it was sophomore because this was after my stepmom left. We went to Florida for Thanksgiving, and it was like a whole week that we had off. We went to Florida for Thanksgiving, and I was so gung-ho about this idea of having a Thanksgiving dinner, like a proper full-on Thanksgiving dinner with a turkey and everything. On vacation. Because Dad's idea was, oh, we'll just go down to the restaurants and have Thanksgiving dinner there. And I'm like, no! We'll have a proper home-cooked Thanksgiving meal. I don't care that we're in the middle of, like, Florida and that I only have half the amenities that a proper kitchen would afford me. We will have a proper homemade Thanksgiving dinner. So he's like, fine, Weebo, we'll do it. He's like, because I'm the little princess of the household, and of course, Weebo gets what she wants. Dad will make sure of that. So he takes us to the supermarket, and we get all of the fixings for proper Thanksgiving dinner. And everything that I described to you in my Thanksgiving dinner that I told you we were going to have this year, we had that year. The three of us. A whole ass turkey I made. A whole thing of green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole, mashed potatoes, stuffing. Oh, that was the thing that I forgot to mention. Stuffing. Of course we're having stuffing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's what I asked about.
I forgot to mention it. Anyway, cranberries.
Really quick.
Fixins.
Okay. Actually, I want to ask about the cranberries in just a second here. Next 6 minutes. Thank you for the $2.42. Got hooked up with the Hammer audio special. I will no longer sound like I'm talking through a Campbell's soup can. Was not cheap, but I've needed to up my game for a few years now. Sub to Polly. No, don't sub to Polly. The channel's all smut. But I appreciate the thought, though. Smut. Terrible crap.
Oh.
Yeah.
But continue.
Lion Patriot, thank you for the $6. Well, thank you very much for the $6. How about some cursed images to lighten the mood? Much please. I don't know if I have any cursed images, honestly. I'd like to accede to the request, but I got pictures of me. Those are pretty cursed. But I'm not showing those because,
it'd be too powerful.
well, I only have one external monitor and I don't want to crack it.
All of the
Displaying
ladies in
those
the chat that
images.
have a crush on Polly would just die immediately.
Yeah, realizing that they had a crush on, the fat, disgusting neckbeard.
That was not where I was going with that. That was meant as a compliment. They'd swoon from.
They'd swoon, would they?
They'd swoon
Yeah.
because they suddenly find themselves in what is it for females? It's not heat because that's an animal thing, right?
Right.
What is it?
Well, it's not rut because that's also an animal thing.
They'd be turned on.
Turned on.
There we go. That's
There
my
you go.
attempt at a compliment, Polly. You're welcome.
Well, you succeeded. I'm gonna go with that. So, the cranberries, cranberry sauce, cranberry jelly.
What's the stuff out of the can? Because
Jelly.
I personally I don't like cranberries at all.
What,
Or well, I don't
really?
like cranberry sauce myself. I only put it on the table because my dad likes it, so we had to have it because it's a staple of Thanksgiving meals. But personally, I'm not a big fan of cranberry sauce. I'll drink cranberry juice, but that's not the same thing.
Now, cranberries in all their forms are fantastic. I love the cranberry, and sauce and jelly, and cranberry jelly, especially if you can get it to come out of the can whole, so you can still see the rib marks of the can in the cylinder of jelly. That's the best. So you can just cut off a cylindrical slice of cranberry jelly. That's winning.
Well, you know how you do that, right?
With a knife?
No, you don't even have to put the knife in there. So what you do is you uncap the can. You take the lid off the can. You open the can.
You open the can. Okay.
You open the can and you make sure it's evenly a circle all around, and then you just take the can and you go and you drop it on the countertop, on the top of the plate where you want the cranberries to fall, and then you just, because it's a jelly, so you just wiggle it and wiggle it, wiggle it, and let gravity do its job. But you also have to kind of put a hole in at the top too, so that the suction doesn't deform your cranberries.
See, I've discovered the trick that one of my friends showed me one time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Here's the trick." He's like, 'cause you'll do the whack it, or you'll kind of shake it, or you'll turn it, and then some people will take a knife and kind of slide it around the outside to desuctionate the cranberry cylinder, and you can end up ruining those precious rib marks in the side of your cranberry cylinder. Right. So he's like, here's how you do it. Right. Watch this. And I was like, okay. And those old school, well, you never were in Boy Scouts, but
Can opener?
Yeah, like the can opener with the pointy end where you go like that.
Yes, I have seen those.
Okay, you do that on one side of the can, and then you turn the can over, and then you open the top, and then you have then gravity can do its thing because air can get in, and then the suction's not.
That's what I was getting at. I said you poke a hole in the bottom so that when you're shaking it out on the other end.
Did you say poke a hole in the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I don't want to hear about you shanking fucking cans. You didn't say anything about a can opener. Yeah, I picture you grabbing a knife.
Well, no, I didn't say anything about a can opener. I'm just like, and then you poke a hole in the bottom so that gravity can actually do its work without breaking anything. But yeah, that's literally what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Poke a hole in the bottom.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
You take your prison-made shank with, tape wrapped around the handle and just,
Exactly.
Instead of taking out that fucker over in section 4B that had the nerve to stare at you funny on the yard, you use it to open up the cranberries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I think this year I will try some cranberry jelly, Polly. I think you've inspired me.
It's good.
I was a young child when I decided that I didn't like cranberry sauce. And I am not a young child anymore. I'm old.
No.
I'm an elder.
What is it you didn't like as a kid that you now like? Not want to like, I have actually tried and liked.
I don't know. It was weird to me. I'm like, why is this bullshit here on the table? All right, we
No,
have
I
all
mean-
of these other fixins. I don't know. I think it was bigotry. I think I was anti-cranberries.
No, I'll tell you about cranberry. Okay. We're trying to move on from the cranberries. I'm saying,
okay.
what as a child of any food variety did you eat and did not like? And we're told as little Weebo to like eat it, and you were like, no. But now as an adult, you actually like it.
Mushrooms and tomatoes.
Together or just at all?
No, just at all. I hated mushrooms and I hated tomatoes. Mushrooms because it was like a texture thing. Like it was never cooked to the point where it didn't taste like I was biting into a tire. Because cooked mushrooms, they have a weird bite down texture to them. Tomatoes, kind of the same thing. I didn't like tomatoes because whole tomatoes, eating them was like popping a zit to me.
You mean like cherry tomatoes?
Yeah, like cherry tomatoes, but also I've seen weirdos just take a bite of a big tomato, like a big grape, not grape, but like a big beefsteak tomato, like it's an apple. And
Yeah.
I've been disturbed by that. And I can't, they're super juicy and I don't like mess.
And
I think
shit
that's part of the
flies.
reason.
Yeah. No, I can see that being pretty messy, someone biting into a juicy tomato.
Well, just tomatoes in general, they're very moist fruits.
They are.
And I'm not a big fan of messy things. A boyfriend who can attest to this. Mess drives me insane. So, like, if I'm eating something that's gonna like squirt everywhere, I'm not gonna have a good time about it. And I think maybe that was my big hang up. But now that I'm looking back at it, I just don't know why. Genuinely, I don't know why I didn't like tomatoes.
So do you have like tomatoes on your cheeseburgers now?
Yeah, I can eat a tomato on my cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. Last night for dinner, I had this Mexican chicken rice bowl, and it had tomato salsa on top of it. So it was really good.
Huh.
Really, really good. And basically, it's just a bunch of cherry tomatoes with lime juice and finely chopped jalapenos, and then finely chopped onions, and like a lot of them. And then you marinate it with olive oil and salt and pepper for maybe 10-15 minutes. Tastes really good. Not spicy enough, though, I will say.
What about the vegetables?
What about the vegetables?
Well, people often talk about, at least in my experience, different vegetables that they couldn't stand as a kid. But now it's like, oh no, those are delicious. Like asparagus, for example.
My mom made asparagus one time in my youth, and the one time that she made it, it looked kind of like a lizard.
Asparagus that looked like a lizard?
For the longest time, I was like, ew, asparagus, that's disgusting. So I guess asparagus would be one of them. But I'll eat it now. It's not a big issue. But yeah, it looked like a fucking lizard. It freaked me out because I'd just seen The Parent Trap, and I'm pretty sure at one point, what's her face, Lindsay Lohan had put a tiny little lizard in her, who would have been the stepmom's mouth, and that freaked me out. And I have fear of snakes, so that freaked me out a little bit because lizards are just snakes with legs. I don't have a lizard fear.
Lizards are snakes with legs. Yeah.
Asparagus is boiled grass. Don't at me. It does make your pee smell weird.
What?
It does.
No, you know what? People say that, but I don't bend over the bowl to know. I believe them.
You don't need to bend over. It just stinks. There's no need to bend over. The smell of pea asparagus is potent. It's like someone I can think of.
Did you just accuse your boyfriend of smelling potent like asparagus pea?
No. I was talking to Meowschwitz.
Oh,
if you were at Side Quest on Friday, you would know that she's got some potent bowel movements. she took she was going to the bathroom in the middle of side quest right there, and she was just like pawing at the sides like she does to clean her paws, and then it hit me, a whiff of what she had created, which had
Oh
spawned.
man.
I'm like, oh fuck, I need
Look at
to go
this.
find my incense.
The BTK just donated $150 to me.
Really?
Yeah. Dennis Rader's in prison. He's the BTK killer, and he keeps sending me money.
Ew. What did you do to deserve that?
I don't know. I think he's stalking me from prison.
Yeah?
I'm just kidding. That's Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Thank you, Kayla, so much. You see, you leave me without words because I don't know how to thank you for that extreme generosity. She simply said, for the otter, may he enjoy something for Turkey Day dinner. Well, since my family's out of town, I was going to enjoy bourbon and self-loathing, but now I will get something else.
Bourbon, self-loathing, and a whole goose just for yourself.
And a whole goose just for my. Thank you very much, Kayla. It's very generous of you. You have left me speechless. Thank you.
Or you could go out and get someone else to make a goose for you. I'm sure there's a restaurant near you that serves goose. Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
That's what I should do. I should get on the phone and call around. Be like, y'all got goose?
What kind of restaurant would have goose, though? Like one of those high-end ones, or a European one? Or would they just, like, one of those... Oh, you know what? You know who might have goose? Like, are there any theme restaurants specifically to do with hunting and serving what was hunted? Because I could see them serving goose.
There's venison shops around me, actually. There's a few venison shops. Like they probably got all kinds of wild birds.
Maybe, yeah.
Especially because it's bird hunting season. Chaos says, do you want me to spank her? Because I'll do it. She's less than 6 feet away from me at the moment. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to interfere with y'all's private time. If you want to spank her, you go ahead.
Hi, Eve.
Don't let me interfere.
I'd like to do the whole goose Thanksgiving kind of thing one year. I think when I ever start hosting Thanksgiving, I'll try to do the goose thing one year. Like, I'll have a backup turkey just in case. But
a backup turkey.
Yeah. So I'll have 2 birds for one holiday. And I'll cook a turkey in addition to the goose, because I'll have a double range or a double oven. Not gonna be a problem. I'll be able to cook a goose and a turkey at the same time. Because that's goals, right? But
see, Lion Patriot says it's rabbit season. There never really is
an end to rabbit season.
Well, there isn't an end to rabbit season. You're right, but there's never really like a festive like. Oh, it's Arbor Day. Did you get your rabbit? Like, do you understand what I mean? Like holiday where people eat rabbit. That's a shame.
Couldn't you just
Rabbit's
eat
good.
rabbit? Why not just eat rabbit?
Well, I don't know.
Go get yourself some rabbit, Polly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go down.
I'm gonna go down to one of them venison shops and get like elk or goat or goose.
Do it. Triple dog dare you.
No,
you've only got a few days left until the next holiday.
Yeah.
Get yourself something nice for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's like what? 1, 2, 3, 3 days away. I got to get it on the 24th because of the 25th. It's you don't buy your bird on the day of. That's dumb. Right?
Yeah, you buy it before the day of.
Yeah.
Any day before the day of, so long as it doesn't just sit in your freezer for months on end. Like the duck in my fridge is gonna be. There's a duck. There's a whole ass freaking duck in my freezer right now, and I don't know what to do with him.
Like plucked?
plucked. Like, it's ready to go in the oven. I just don't know what sides to pair with
I was
it.
like, is it even dressed? Does it still have its head on and everything?
I bought the duck at the supermarket. I just don't, because it was an impulse. I was like, oh, duck! I love duck because I do love duck. It's very good.
Duck's good. Duck's very good.
So I'm like, oh, we'll have duck at some point in the future, but I don't know when to bring out the duck. You know?
I hear you.
So at some point, I'm gonna have to just pull that trigger. Because I'm not in charge of any holidays this year. Thank God. I don't have the hosting capacity for any holidays. Much less the kitchen capacity for cooking for a holiday.
Okay, so what's your man's holiday specialty? What's he cooking that everyone's liking?
I don't think El Boyfriendo's cooking for Thanksgiving. His dad is making Thanksgiving. We're actually going to be doing 2 Thanksgivings this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so once we're done at my parents' Thanksgiving, we're going to go to his parents' Thanksgiving. And it's also pretty standard. But they put rice in their stuffing, which is so weird.
Oh, yeah, we never talked about the stuffing. What do you put in your stuffing? You said you made it.
So when I made it, it was box stuffing. You know, the little croutons and whatnot. And you just add
stovetop
chicken.
stuffing. Was it stovetop?
Yeah.
Did it come? It came in the container with the cylindrical container with the little sealable top.
Yep. Holly, I was 15. All right, I had minimum time to make a full Thanksgiving dinner all by myself. I cut corners. Okay, I will admit. I also used the box potatoes and the box gravy.
A boxed gravy? You didn't even get a can of gravy?
It was out of the little glass. You know, the little glass of home-style gravies that they get.
Okay.
I cut quarters. I know. I'm ashamed, too. Not everything was homemade.
There's no such thing as poly season. There's no season for otters. I'm still concerned when I did my birthday stream and I brought up like the most egregious thing the internet has ever produced, the otter sausage.
No, they're doing the Looney Tunes thing in the chat.
No, I get it. Duck season, wabbit season, I get it. I'm an old school Looney Tunes fan. I understand.
Nerd.
But, but for someone to throw up,
hey,
otter season, I was like, or poly season. Like, it just, I still haven't gotten over that otter sausage. That somebody actually made river otter sausage and mixed it with camel fat. Like, what the fuck? That was easily the most egregious thing I have ever seen on the internet. And I've been over to fucking DeviantArt.
It's not unorthodox to me to mix whatever fat you have on hand in with other foods that you're making. Like, I have duck fat for specifically that purpose. Like, I have collected duck fat sitting in my spice cabinet in the event that I want to cook with it. Like, if I wanted to make special eggs, I'd use the duck fat. So that's not out of the ordinary.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Other than a Mohammedan, who the fuck has camel fat on hand?
You don't have camel? I don't have camel fat.
Yeah, I mean, who opens up their freezer and there's a giant camel hump sitting in there? I mean, what the hell is that?
That's not what's inside the hump, Polly.
Yeah, it is.
Nuh-uh, the hump stores water.
Okay, Google's your friend. You look that up. There's no water in them humps. It's fat.
What's inside a camel hump?
Magic. Wishes and dreams. You see that face? There's no reason to be that upset over it. Jesus.
I don't like being wrong.
No kidding. Holy shit. It's not a big deal.
I don't like to be wrong. A camel's hump doesn't contain water or bone. It's fat. And each hump can store up to 36 kilograms of it, which can sustain the camel for weeks or even months without food. The fat is incredibly nutritious, and people are even starting to use it in cooking for its health benefits. Fuck you, Polly.
Mix it. Why fuck me? The whole point is, why are you mixing it with river otters at all and making sausage out of it? What the fuck's
For
wrong
the
with you?
nutritional health benefits. Duh, I thought I made that very clear.
The benefits of otters are their adorableness, not their nutritional value.
No. That's why you would mix the camel fat in with the otter to give it more nutrients. Because apparently otters are lacking in nutrients.
Of course they're lacking in nutrition. They're overflowing in adorability.
So what you're saying is whenever I eat an otter, it should be with the intention of being more adorable.
You are what you eat? Is that what your theory is? You're going to eat a whole bunch of otters so you're extra adorable?
Exactly. Yeah.
Now you just got to go back to college. I saw that pitch. Remember the thumbnail that I saw from you from like 4 years ago, and it was like baby Weebo, and I was like, "Oh my god, look at her! She's so adorable."
We shall not mention baby Weebo.
It wasn't even baby.
One.
It wasn't even 4. It was just 3 years ago, actually, and somehow you look like baby Weebo.
You want to see an actual picture of baby Weebo? Because I can find one. I'm pretty sure I have one somewhere. Baby Weebo was adorable. By the way, I haven't changed since 6th grade. Like, I still look the same. I've made this comment a lot, but I really have not changed.
Joys of Sorrow says, I don't know. I've seen camel fat sold in my local LA health food store. I believe you. I can imagine, only imagine rather, the shit that's sold at an LA health food store. Wheatgrass, switchgrass, the edible dirt, which is the thing. I just didn't make that up.
Here's baby Weebo.
No.
I'm so dainty with my pinky. My pudding is made from the souls of mortals. I love it when my audience memes me. Oh, there's an even cuter picture out there. I know it. Oh, got him. There's this picture of me.
Hold on. What, are you face planting?
I'm digging a hole in the sand.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just running and face planted.
No, I'm very intently trying to dig my hole. I was very interested in infrastructure as a young child.
No, I totally forgot about that. Old Man Infield says Beto loves edible dirt. Yeah, remember when he talked about went on a spiritual retreat after losing terribly in the gubernatorial election and went and ate magic dirt?
Yes, I do remember this. And I remember...
fucking hell.
I have more baby pictures for you.
Okay, that's a pretty good one.
There's me as an adorably stylish infant sucking my thumb.
Excuse me.
My Beatles glasses.
Excuse me.
Here's me working at the young age of 2.
Yeah, I want a onesie. You know, there's an otter onesie that people could get me for Christmas if they wanted to.
I'll put it on your wish list and I'll buy it for you. Okay, that's all the baby pictures we will be seeing of Weebo.
All right.
I'm a little bit self-absorbed, not gonna lie. I think I was a cute kid. I was a really cute kid. No, that was not a year ago. I have aged over the last 23 years gracefully. Thank you very much. But yeah, that picture of me working with the 2x4s and the whatever it is that I have in my hand, I think I am trying to screw in like one of those support beams in a wall. Trying to help my dad with his project. And what he did was, in the old house that I used to live in, he ripped down the wall separating two bedrooms from each other so he could make the master bedroom twice as big as it was. So that's what I'm doing in that picture, is I'm helping Dad out with that project.
See? Otter onesie.
So you want that?
See, I like the buttons down the front. Mm-hmm. I like the hood with the otter face on it. That's good. But it doesn't have feet. A proper onesie should have feet.
I agree.
With the little rubber grippies on the bottom. Precisely. See, I've got a pair of Tasmanian devil socks, and along the soles of the foot are like little tornadoes because he's a Tasmanian devil. Yeah, and they're all grippy. They're great. Yeah. I break them out for special occasions. I like the chest pocket on the because otters have pockets.
Yeah. Do they?
Yeah. No, they really do. They store bubbles because their skin's real loose, and they store air bubbles in their little air pockets of their loose skin, and so they can go underwater for a long, long time, and they just breathe with their air bubbles. It's true. I'm not making that up.
I believe you, but I don't.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, I believe that you believe this, but I'm not sold.
Do I need to prove it?
Prove it.
All right.
Do it. Do it. I wonder if there's that picture of me trying to eat my foot out there somewhere. Because that's another baby picture that I remember that was hilarious. There it is. Found it. Okay. Last baby picture, I promise. Very flexible. He's even as an infant. Polly, did your so your mom and or grandma and or some woman person in your family ever make you like a baby book?
Yep.
Like a book entirely dedicated to you wait, did you not see it? You gotta see it. You gotta see the baby foot.
No, I see it.
Yeah, you gotta see it. Okay. Yeah. But like, okay.
Holy fuck. There's a wild animal in your home. Get the gun. Jesus Christ.
Oh, because don't you be back?
Here,
Harder with the Nerf gun.
We need a good laugh. Mm-hmm. Let us. Well, hold on. You won't be able to hear it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to Weebo.
Yeah.
On the Court of Dis.
Uh-huh.
And she will be able to play it, and we'll all be able to hear it and laugh at the human failure.
Okay. But so, okay, you did have a baby book, is it?
Yeah. No, there's a baby book, yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have it?
My mom does.
Yeah. But like, okay, so say your mom makes the thing for you. Did she ever try to give it to you?
No.
Like, here's your thing, take this.
Yeah.
See, because my grandmother did something similar for me. Like, okay, she made me a baby book. She gave it to me. And it's basically just, like, the first 2 years of my life in picture format. But she also made one of these, like, Weebo every month for the first year of her life, a picture. Kind of, like, collage. And she gave it to my parents. And it was hanging up in their house, in my dad's house, for forever. And he came over last week and he gave it to me. And I'm like, but this is, don't you want this? this is a reminder of how cute of a baby I was. Why are you giving it to me? And he's like, because it's you. And I'm like, yeah, but what if you forget about me? Why are you trying to pawn off all of your memories of me, Dad? He's like, I'm trying to minimalize so I can travel the country in my sweet, sweet new ride, yo. I'm a motorcycle. I can't bring it with. Anyway, okay, so you want me to play this, and you want me to add sound, right?
Yeah, is people not realizing there's glass there and running into it? It's hilarious.
Oh no!
Oh. Okay, watch this woman. She's going full of intent. Poof.
How did she not know?
What's happening? How do I get out of here? Jesus Christ.
I can't believe this is what you said to me.
Well, I said we needed a cheap laugh.
Oh!
He jumped for it too. It just kept going.
He was trying to make the bus.
Oh my God, that was loud. Holy Jesus.
Just walk it off, my dude.
Yeah.
No, that poor man and his coffee.
No coffee for you.
Did he just ignore the other door? The wide open door right there in front of him?
I'm a businessman on my way to places. Wait a minute. Yeah, no one saw me. It's fine.
Ignore it.
Did this open? I don't think it. Oh, shit. No. It's lady can't figure out doors. There we go. Well done.
He followed her in, snatched her bag, then tried to get out.
When he actually hit the glass, he was knocked out. Eventually, his friend managed to revive him and drag him off.
God is just. Look at this. He's out cold, too.
He got knocked the fuck out.
Oh, Jesus. He brought the whole wall down. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
It's not as funny when a kid does it because they're like a child. Oh, God.
Man, these people that go right through the glass. Fuck.
And they don't get hurt either.
Go ahead, Polly.
Have you ever done that? Like been in a house of mirrors and just clonked yourself?
Nope. What the fuck? He knew what was going on there. Did you see that? He headbutted it. That was deliberate.
Oh, poor kid. You ever run into a screen door? I've done that once.
Oh, he's a big man. Okay, everything's fine. He's a little drunk. He's a little drunk. Yeah, that wasn't a mistake. That was just liquor.
Yeah. He's a little bit impaired. I think we can agree.
Oh. Jeez.
Oh, poor guy. Smashed his nose right on in.
Oh, man, you ever been punched in the nose or hit your nose?
Yeah,
God, your eyes water and everything. It's disorienting.
Yeah, my brother punched me in the nose once.
Oh, shit. Bro, the doors are right there. Why did you...
I kind of want to see him walk into the other door, or into the other glass, too.
Thank you very much
for watching.
And if you
Like this,
press the stupid plastic like button. And if you like poor judgment, good.
What's
Because I
this?
enjoy watching poor judgment. I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
I don't know what happened.
Subscribe.
Yeah,
subscribe.
everything just became a Trump clip at the end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Gamer Valine, are you kidding? It's hilarious watching kids go boop. Toddlers run and their heads weigh so much the momentum is more than their tiny legs can keep up with. I know, it's just, it feels mean. It feels really mean. It is funny, but I don't like doing it. Laughing at children. If that makes sense.
Hey, and Holy Reaper's here. How's it going, Reaper?
Hi, Reaper. How we doing? But have you ever walked into? Did I ask you this already? Did you ever walk into a screen door? Like you open the glass sliding door and you walk into the screen door.
Oh yeah, because I got one of them slidey dillery doos, whatever you want to call them. You know.
Yeah.
That slide across. I didn't get it. The homeowner of the house that I'm in got it, right? And so now, out of like conditioned instinct, I put my hand out, like, and it's fucking winter. There's that screen door is not fucking. You know, you close it and then you close the regular door, right? And then you open the regular door and you just fucking walk out at night and boom, right into the fucking screen door. And yeah, I've done that many times, and it's just.
It's a no bueno situation right there.
Yeah.
Because you run the risk of actually breaking that screen door too. And screen doors are expensive to replace.
Yeah, especially them slidey ones. Yeah, they're not that roll up in the corner. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They are not cheap. And I don't want to be the guy to have to call up the fucking homeowner and be like, yo, bro, remember that thing you installed? Yeah.
I broke it.
This group of raccoons came out of nowhere. And they just and I got out the broom and I rushed them because I wanted to defend your property.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Hey, Paula, you want to call it in like 8 minutes?
Sure.
Before I fall asleep in my chair.
Sure.
Thank you. So, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to enter into question time? Should we open it up for questions?
Sure.
Let the chat bother us about their whims and such. I'd be down.
Do you have
Did I make you yawn?
Yeah, your big yawn made me yawn. It's true.
Sorry.
And I slept a full, I believe, hour and 10 minutes last night.
Oh, a whole full hour and 10 minutes. Very good, Polly. That's
yeah. And I can
not
actually
quite 8, but
time
that's on
it
its
down
way.
because I put 2 episodes on a playlist on VLC player.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's how I know. I watched like 15 minutes of the first one and then kind of fell asleep and then woke up when the theme song was playing at the end of the second one. And I was like, wow, that was an hour and 10 minutes. Huh.
You should probably get more sleep than that.
Or create a longer playlist.
So what you're saying is you put things on in a playlist just so you can sleep to them?
You don't. Well, some people enjoy sleeping to the ambience.
Well, yeah, in that case, just there are 8-hour long YouTube videos of
I'm aware.
Ambience.
And I'm a big fan of the ambiences.
Yeah, so just put one of those videos on.
Well, I put those on when I'm doing work because anyone who ever hung out with me in voice chat knows. Here, there's one of my favorite ambiance channels is
Ambient Worlds.
Is what?
Ambient Worlds, that's mine.
Ambient Worlds?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I'm gonna have to check it out.
I've sent it to you.
Oh. Was this recently?
I've sent it to you at least twice.
Oh.
I'll send it to you again.
Here. I'm gonna slip this into chat. It's there we go. Christmas ambiance from one of my favorite channels, Noobless.
You just sent this to me earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did watch it.
It's a great one.
I spent last Wednesday listening to it while I was at work.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. New Bliss is awesome. Guild of Ambiance is awesome, but they don't put out as many videos. New Bliss, man, that guy's working hard. Holy shit.
Yep. It's a good time.
Hold on, let me grab this ambient worlds here.
Mm-hmm. I just sent it to you again.
Copy.
Old Man Anfield says, when it comes to a healthy sleep schedule, I'm rooting for all of you. I agree. I'm rooting too, because it's important to get enough sleep, because without sleep, you're not functional.
Rainy Night at Hogwarts. Hogwarts Great Hall. Hagrid's Hut. Hogwarts Potions Class. Hogwarts Express. I'm sensing a theme.
Well, it's not just Hogwarts, obviously. There's Friends, Central Perk, and Music and Ambiance. There's Lord of the Rings. There's Jurassic Park, Pirates of the Caribbean, Halo, Pure Nature, The Elder Scrolls, Indiana Jones, Night of Terror, like Narnia. It's mostly like popular film scores and TV shows, like popular scores, basically, set to ambiance as well. And it goes for several hours at a time.
There's a Indiana Jones epic music and ambiance. Wow, I don't dun 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 dun. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna feel real sleepy listening to Indy fight Nazis.
Well, you don't have to listen to the Indiana Jones to fall asleep, but like for instance, the Lothlorien, Lords of the Rings music and ambiance, that'll put you to sleep. That'll knock you the fuck out. Chamber of Secrets music and ambiance, maybe not, but Middle Earth music and ambiance. They even have a Pride and Prejudice music and ambiance.
See, I'll tell you. I'll tell you something. It's like this is my little idiosyncraticness. This is the ambiance to sleep with. Like, okay, yeah, it works because it's sort of the white noise thing, especially if you got like trucks and shit driving around. Because like I live in like an area where it's, I don't live out in the country. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
and so that's good. But I like listening to things that are. How can I say this? They're talky. Like, so like it occupies just enough of my mind, but it can't be an audio book because I'm going to be active listening to it and my mind's running. You understand what I'm saying? So it shows I've already seen. So my favorite go-to is Star Trek because I've seen all the Star Treks multiple times and I love Trek. So like I'm sitting there listening to it and that's what was on the playlist last night. And the end theme song is,
sorry.
What are you doing?
I need to stop yawning because I'm trying to be not rude, but I can't help it. It just
don't thump your head. That's not gonna help.
It might. You don't know. And don't even mention yawning to me. I'm that like triggerable right now.
And old noir films, especially like old Bogart films. Yeah, they're another favorite go-to because they're very talky. And when I say talky, what I mean by that is there's not going to be a sudden explosion out of nowhere or a sudden rain of gunfire, which are awesome when you're awake and you're trying to watch a movie. But when you're trying to like drift off, when it's just people like having conversations, it's a movie you've already seen. I drift off quite nicely to that. I don't stay asleep, mind you, because of clinical insomnia, but you do what you can.
Yeah. There are YouTube channels dedicated to like reading Reddit posts. You could probably get by with those. They have like 3-hour compilations of those.
Reading Reddit posts. Do I really want to hear about people's sick kinks while I'm trying to sleep?
It's not so much that. It's like ask Reddit. Tell us your I'm out of here stories from work. Like tell us about the day that you walked out on the job, like walked away from the job. Like those stories, or the ones that I'm like I feel kind of bad about listening to are like the ones where people get pro revenge on people in their real life that have wronged them, or the ask relationship ones because their lives are super fucked up and they make me feel like a functional human being by comparison.
Zed Hero actually asked a good question. What's your opinion on lasers on firearms? Mine is that it's not useful unless it's an IR laser and you're using night vision goggles. Reaper would probably have a better opinion on that than I, but a more informed opinion on it than I. But I would tend to agree. Like red dots have basically supplanted the need for a projected red dot, like in the sense of a laser. So why even use one? And it's like, well, IR tagging for munitions and things like that. If you are going to be using a laser, yeah, it should be invisible to the enemy, definitely. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but that shit gets expensive, especially when like there's a whole range of different, non-projecting red dots available.
Yeah. Polly, when you visited Glasgow, did you try Urn Brew?
No, I didn't. I'm not even sure what that is. What is that?
I don't even know. Is it like a booze? Is it a beer? Is it something else?
I mean,
is it a whiskey?
I got in and out and around to a number of distilleries, but I did not try Imbrew. You know what I found out though? I went for I couldn't sleep. Shockingly, I know. And so, I went out for a walk, and the streets of Glasgow were, at least where I was staying, were dead. No one. There was, it was, post-apocalyptic, not a soul in sight. And then I was talking to some people the next day, and I said, yeah, I went for a walk at night, and there was, fucking nobody. And it's like, you went out at night? You could have been arrested. And I still don't understand what the fuck they meant. It's
I guess you're not supposed. There's a curfew or something.
That's what I'm saying. Is there an ongoing, unspoken, or possibly, legally instituted curfew in Glasgow, or are there ruffians about where if they catch you alone, you're fucked? I still don't know.
Apparently, it's a soda.
Oh, okay. It's a Scotch soda.
Yeah.
Shit. No, I would have liked to have tried that.
I'm down. I'll try it too. Polly, we're at time. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, you look like you do. Even when you're pouting about it.
I want to go night-night. Baby Weebo needs to go to bed. Okay. That's going to get me into a fucking oblivion, isn't it? It's okay. I'm an adult person. I can handle it. She said, speaking with a very low voice to give the impression that she's a grown adult person. Anyway, so Polly, would you like to shill anything that you're working on right now?
I am excuse me. Damn it, Weebo. Well, I mean the cat's out the bag. So everybody's pitching in and delivering segments for Weebo's Christmas extravaganza, myself amongst them. And I'm putting together a particular one because I'm not going to put together shit for Weebo because that would just be cold.
Thanks.
Well, no, I'm putting together a good one.
I know.
It's going to make no sense because it's not Christmassy, but it's highly opinionated though.
There you go.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience will love it.
So there's that to look forward to. What, a month? Less than a month now?
The 17th of December is when they're all due, but the actual show is going to be probably a week after that. Not exactly a week, but a week after that, after Christmas, I think, is when I'm planning to have it because at that point I'll have the soundboard, the hot keyboard essentially. So I'll be able to properly put on an OBS Christmas variety show.
Nice.
Yeah, we're actually doing the Christmas variety show, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be a good time.
And we are more of that.
We are going to be raising money for charity for the Gary Sinise Foundation, which is a veteran support group. So that is what the Christmas variety show and all proceeds from the variety show will be going to. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your family members. It's going to be a good time. I'm getting a whole bunch of other YouTubers in on this, so it's a collaborative effort.
No, that's a great choice for a fucking charity. Well thought out. Yeah.
So we're super excited about that.
Yeah. And
Yes.
as for other things, I have a couple of live reads if you are going to listen to, but those who do, I hope you enjoy. They're coming out this week. I've recorded them. I just have to edit them into,
Yeah, I know.
a finished state. As you can tell, I'm tired now. And then, of course, AAA on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The best one being on Wednesday, because that's mine.
Yeah.
Which happens at 5:30 Eastern, 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island.
I can hear my phone going off in the other room telling me it's time to take your medicine, Weebo.
What was that?
Birth control.
Loud, weird noise.
Was that making a noise?
It's like you just leaned forward and turned a fan on or something.
It would be El Boyfriendo's computer.
Oh.
It sounds like O'Hare in here. It's taking off now, actually. I think it's heading to North Dakota.
Oh.
Is there an airport in North Dakota? I don't know.
Yeah. The
Anyway.
fentanyl capital of the United States.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
That's
that.
where all the Chinese criminals are importing their fentanyl into. It's true. I didn't make that up.
North Dakota?
Yeah, the Dakotas. And that's where their distribution point is.
Odd place for that. But all right, cool. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Because no one was, whoever suspects the Dakotas, right? And they probably got like weak security and importation or whatever the fuck. I'm guessing at this point, but there's a reason they picked there.
Cat's out the bag then, if you know, and I know now. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Everyone have a good night.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this fine evening. I'm pretty sure at this point we will be back here next week unless due to Thanksgiving travel plans something goes horribly amiss. I will let Polly know though if that happens to be the case. I should be good though. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place, same otter, same face. I've been your host, Weebo Jones. This has been my co-host, Polydub. We have brought to you some things and such, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for the donations, especially Kayla. You're so generous. Everyone's so generous. It leaves me without words. I'd have more words if I was more slept. But thank you anyway. It's sincerely appreciated. It really is.
All right. Good night, guys.
Have a good night, all.